Hello to all of you beautiful listeners. Welcome to another episode of Life According to Nikki. Today, you are going to see that it is a very long episode. It's that way for a couple reasons. Number one, I have been sick all week long, and I just genuinely did not have the energy to edit this episode. I didn't. So you get a very raw, unedited cut, which I'm actually kind of excited to hear your feedback on it, because you'll see, if you are a frequent listener, that I edit the crap out of my audios. I take out a bunch of things. I really try and condense it down to be under an hour or just right at the hour. And for anybody that has done interviews with me, I always have to warn my friends, like, hey, just an FYI, probably like half of what we talk about is going to get edited out because I kind of create a storyline with what I want the episode to be once we've finished, and then I just emphasize those points throughout the episode. So a lot of times I'll have more content than I need, and if we talk too much or just go a little bit long on a topic, I'll cut it down to be a little bit shorter, because as you can tell right now, I can talk and over-explain things. So I like to make myself sound super intelligent when I edit and be so eloquent and well-spoken. So the curtain's really going to be pulled back today of how uneloquent I can really be. So just know it's going to feel different than normal because I didn't take the time to do all of that. Also, we just had a lot of thoughts, and I just figured, we'll just have them all out there. I don't feel well enough to take the time, and I'd rather just produce an episode than have nothing come out. So this is what you get today, this is what you get. Don't throw a fit, or just don't listen to it if you don't want to. But some disclaimers. This episode is marked as explicit because we discuss a little bit more about my job as a sex educator. I talk about it a little bit because just in the context of the secret lives of Mormon wives, which is our topic, I felt like it was an important subject matter to be brought up, and it was brought up throughout the series. So I just wanted to warn everybody, if you are listening to this with kids in the car, that we are going to be talking about sex. I'm going to be using some anatomically correct terminology for genitalia, and I don't go into depth by any means on many topics that I could, but I do talk a little bit about how I work in a sex store. That is by no means my career job. I actually have a career job, but I do work in a sex store to gain access to products so I can do my day job better. But I do work as a sex educator for a sex therapy practice. Not a ton of people know that, but I think word's getting out a little bit more, especially because I'm going to be announcing it soon that I'm going to be moving. So you guys get to hear it first. I am going to be moving to Australia to do a master's in sexology. I'm really, really excited about it. But yeah, it's just going to get brought up in this episode. So if that makes you uncomfortable, I hope that in this episode it's actually talked about in a way that makes you feel comfortable, because I kind of highlight some issues that I see culturally within the church and why it's such a problem that we don't talk about it. But if you're not in a place where you feel comfortable listening, I totally understand. We'll catch you next week. But I just figured I would at least let everybody know what some of the content is going to be. It's just going to be us discussing our thoughts on the secret lives, and the topic of sex will be brought up multiple times throughout the episode. So there you go. There's your disclaimers. I'm so happy that you're here. I hope that you are all feeling better than I do today. I'm sure you can probably hear it in my voice. But I hope you all have a fabulous time listening. Thank you, of course, for joining. Go ahead right now, as the intro song plays, give me a rating, give me a review, give me some of those stars, and let's get started.
Are
we kidding? Oh my gosh, I love that. Hi, my friend.
Hello.
Welcome back to the pod. What does your shirt
We're
say?
starting. We're starting already. Oh, got it. Okay. What'd you say?
What does your shirt say?
Says, yeah. Do you know what that's from?
No, what is that from?
It's the girl. Oh crap, what's her name? She makes fun of the Kardashians. She makes those like videos.
Yes.
And it's yeah. So my
Yeah.
mom made me a shirt that says yeah on it.
That's hilarious. I know that it has not been 6 months, and we agreed you were going to come back every 6 months. But you see, it was very important that I have this conversation today with somebody else who is equally invested and who shares similar opinions to me, but also who knows more than me. So there was no one better to talk about the secret lives of Mormon wives than with you.
Oh, thank you. Pat on my back.
So that is going to be our main topic of today. We are just going to be diving in episode by episode to The Secret Lives, which dropped on Hulu like what, a month ago now?
Has it been a month? It was the beginning of the month.
September 6th.
Okay, yeah.
Tomorrow it'll be 3 weeks that
Okay.
it's been out. And I did go over to your house and watch a few episodes with you
Yes.
after you had already seen it. You saw it all the way through, and then I was catching up.
Yeah, I think I watched it the day it came out, and that's when like Hulu malfunctioned. You couldn't watch it. It like froze. And so I had to wait another day, and then I watched the rest of it.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think so many people were trying to watch it. Too many servers. I don't know. I like kept going, and I'm like, it's not letting me play any more episodes. What the crap?
Oh my gosh, I did not know that. Yeah, I waited a few days because I had work and I couldn't commit my time to it until the next week. But then, we got around to it. All right, other disclaimer before we start. I am sick. So I probably sound super congested. That's just how I'm gonna sound today. That's just what we get today. Is this lovely, sexy, dulcet tone of mine.
Ooh, okay. I'm monotone, so we can call that sexy too. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. We're just two sexy ladies. Another slight disclaimer, if you have not seen this series, honestly, go watch it, because if you're going to listen to this episode, we're going to go episode by episode and have our commentary on what was shown. But a lot of it is going to be very contextual. So, like, if you've seen it, it'll make sense. If you haven't, I may not do the best explanation of describing every scenario. So just know that in advance. This is more for the people who watched it, and I figured might as well add our voices to the noise that is
the pool.
Exactly. Might as well put ours out there. The amount of podcasts that I have seen come out.
Oh yeah.
Even just
everybody, it's everywhere. TikTok. My husband's like, I'm so sick of hearing that intro song.
Especially if you are from Utah, there's no getting away from it.
Oh yeah.
It's in every conversation. So here is ours added to the bunch. Starting off, let's talk about, before it even dropped, the trailer and the reaction that everybody had to the trailer. Here is my opinion on the trailer. I saw it for what it was. It was clearly, to me, a trap to get people to be upset. They filmed it in a way that made it look cultish, which, of course, is very triggering for a lot of members of our church, because they're like, we're not a cult. And it's like, okay, well, if you yell that louder, people aren't going to believe you more. Like, that's not actually doing what you think it's doing.
Oh my God.
And the whole powder blue coats, holding hands in front of the Provo temple. I mean, the song Unholy playing over it. The whole thing, to me, was meant to cause a conversation. It was meant to cause people to get upset so they would post about it. so they would promote it. It's so easy to get people riled up, and I feel like they were brilliant for how they did that. It was terribly filmed, in my opinion. It was such a weird
Mm-hmm.
intro, but they did what they came to do, which was, how can we upset this entire religion? Let's make them feel like they have to defend themselves.
Oh my gosh.
And I feel like these moms that just like took to Facebook, that was like,
Mm-hmm.
this does not represent me or my religion, blah, blah, blah. I felt like, ladies, you just fell right into the trap. Like, it was
Yeah.
so clear. They didn't even camouflage it. This is what they wanted. And by you running to your keyboard, I feel like you're making it worse, because I don't feel like my religion is something I have to defend.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
to people who actually know me, who are not of my religion, who have never heard of my religion before, I have never felt a need to defend myself, because their questions that they ask don't usually come from a place of like attacking. They come from a place of curiosity. And the way that I live my life demonstrates my beliefs more than anything I could ever say. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, oh, what are we doing?
No, I second all of that. Didn't the church themselves even like make a post?
Oh, for sure.
And I was just like, you guys, let's all take an inhale through the nose. Exhale. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it's true though. I don't know what the whole blue coats thing was.
It was to
That
make
was
us look
weird.
culty.
Yeah, it was like Handmaid's Tale
Mhm.
vibes.
Did you feel personally offended? Because I
No,
wasn't.
no. I was like, oh, I'm watching that. I didn't feel offended. Just drama, really. But I like a drama. I love a good reality TV. So,
Here's my last thing I'm going to say on it. I think it's ironic that in an attempt to defend like our beliefs, I think that a lot of people that were going on to Facebook or whatever were
mhm.
good intentioned. Like they saw that, hey, this is not representing me and what I hold dear and what is valuable to me. And so I feel this obligation to make sure that people who know me know that I don't stand with that, right?
Mhm.
But in doing so, we almost proved in a huge way what they are, what they're saying, which is we can be a judgmental and very exclusive sometimes, and like not inclusive of other people. And then you're going on Facebook to be like, I do not like, I stand with them. It's like, okay, but what if they came and sat next to you at church?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because would you have a problem with that? Because your post on Facebook is making me feel like you would, when
Yep.
in the same breath you're saying, I love everybody. I
Yep.
love Jesus. Anyone and everyone is welcome except for them.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because all the people like roaring about it, it hasn't even come out yet. You haven't even seen what it's even about. So it's
Yeah,
just funny.
no, for real. It's like, okay, how about you wait to see if it's something you actually need to defend? Like, and I didn't feel at any point that they were like, I am here as a representative
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Like, they clearly weren't, because
Yeah,
they called the show Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, which is a name we do not go by anymore.
right.
So even from the title, it's like they're clearly just trying to bait you, and you
Hmm.
just fell for it.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, guys, it's not that hard. Like, I guess that's just my perspective. I don't feel the need to defend my beliefs, because I think the way that I live my life is a natural defense.
Hmm.
I mean, okay, I'm just going to share something really quick, a really quick
Yeah.
story that I think demonstrates this point. When I was living in the Virgin Islands, I was one of 10 white students on campus. Okay, it was a historically Black college, and I went to it for that reason. And I had some amazing friends from all over the Caribbean. Okay, well, one day I was in the computer lab, and I had a friend that was also in there, and everyone else had kind of filtered out. And I could tell that she kind of wanted to say something to me. It was just us two in the room. And I was like, hey, like, what's up? And she was like, I have a question to ask you. And I could tell from the way that she was like gearing up to ask. I was like, oh, this is going to be about my religion,
Uh-huh.
you know? And I could tell that it was a serious question that she had. So I was like, yeah, by all means, like, you can ask me anything you want. Like, I'm not an easily offended person. So she says to me that she had seen a TikTok that day where whoever was on the TikTok had said that people from our religion believe that Black people are Black because they are unrighteous. So I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, wow, that's a
um,
deep one.
yeah, I was like, okay. And like instantly I felt myself go into that like defense mode, right? Of like, whoa, 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 I don't want you to think that I think that. Like,
Right,
that's not
right.
true at all. That's not even close. Like, no, I feel myself like getting this defense, but instead I kind of just waited to let her
Hmm.
like express everything that she had to say about it. Because obviously that would be concerning as a Black person to hear that.
Hmm.
And anyway, so she kind of went on and explained a little bit more about what the video had said. And then this is the part that like really got me is I was waiting for her to finish and she said, "But I'm really confused because I watched that video and I knew that there's no way that you could believe something like that." And instantly I was like, "You're right. Like I don't need to stand here and defend myself or my religion or like preach to you that like that's false because she already knew that what that person had said was not correct based on how she knew me.
Yeah.
She literally said like I know that you can't believe something like that because I know you. And anyways, that was like a really life-changing moment for me and honestly the biggest compliment I've ever gotten in my life.
Yeah.
That I'm like I'm so happy to know that the way that I live my life is representing my beliefs in such a way that if someone were to hear something so wild and like so false, that they
Hmm.
would be able to easily tell that there must be something wrong with that statement or the way that it's being twisted or that it is being twisted. Because the person that I know, my friend that has these beliefs, could never believe something like that and be the person that they are.
Yeah.
And I think that more members need to just relax in a way
Hmm.
that everyone else isn't stupid. Like,
Yeah,
just because they're not of our religion doesn't mean that they can't tell the difference between someone trying to manipulate them and twist them into thinking a certain way and, what
for
is
sure.
actually probably accurate and true,
Yeah.
you know? So I think we need to give other people more credit on their ability to deduct whether or not something is being manipulated in some way.
Hmm.
And I don't think anybody's thinking a reality TV show is really going to depict the truth of something.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
I just took it as, you know, I get where members are coming from, but if you just live your life the way that you're saying
Yep.
that you believe, if you actually lived it that way, I don't think we constantly need to be like, hey, just so you know,
Uh-huh.
we don't drink. They're gonna know you don't drink.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You don't need to talk about it. Like you also don't need to go into like a sermon on why you don't drink. Like it's not that deep.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, when you see someone that's calling themselves a Mormon and drinking, someone's probably not going to assume that like they're representing the entire population of members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints that don't
Exactly.
drink.
Yep.
Okay,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
enough on that.
That's funny.
Oh, my goodness, just relax, everybody.
People. People, people.
Okay, let's start off episode 1. You're going to give some background here in a second, but let me set this up.
Okay.
So I start watching episode 1 and I knew a bit about the swingers scandal, but I did not know huge details at all. So I Marco Polo you so confused when I'm watching episode 1.
It was so confusing if you don't know the background.
Yes, I'm watching it and
I'm like, this
Taylor,
has no explanation.
yeah. So Taylor's talking about how there was a swinging scandal with Mom Talk. And
Hmm.
then you have this group of ladies calling themselves Mom Talk, and every single one of them is denying
being in this swingers group. So I'm so baffled as an audience member who's like, well, are you all lying? Because
Yeah.
Taylor's saying Mom Talk was involved in a swinging scandal and you're Mom Talk. So where's the issue here? So I turn to you. And would you mind giving us just a brief rundown? You don't have to name names or anything of people, because I think for the most part they keep them off. But give us a background of what the swinging scandal was and how it connects or doesn't connect to the series.
So from my understanding is that Mom Talk is, and it wasn't even described, I don't even think, in this show. Mom Talk isn't just like, I think there's core members, but like they've had so many people be involved in Mom Talk that aren't on the show. But when you watch the show, it makes it seem like this is Mom Talk. Nobody else has ever been involved, right? And so there's been lots of other girls in the past and whatever that have just been in videos of Mom Talk. Anywho, Taylor's like the leader of Mom Talk, apparently. She basically created it. Taylor's in the show. The whole swinging scandal was, I'm sure people on the show, some of the girls on the show have been invited to like these parties that happened back a few years ago. But the people actually involved in the actual acts of the swinging, soft swinging, whatever they call it, are not on the show, except for Taylor. That's where it gets really confusing because it doesn't explain that in the show. But then, yeah, then you have all the girls denying it on the show. I think some of them are invited to parties, like Demi said. Brett, her husband, like got weird vibes, but like they would leave. And if you watch some podcasts that Taylor has been on, she explains a lot more in detail of like the whole swinging things. And it's really easy to piece together who it was and who was all involved. If you paid attention a few years ago, like it was really easy for me to piece together. It's obvious, but she doesn't name names. And the actual people that were involved, one of the couples still denies it to this day, but I'm pretty sure that like it's pretty obvious that they were involved. But anyway, they're not on the show. Am I making any sense?
Yes, no, that was perfect. And what is the status of these couples now? The ones that were involved in the swinging scandal?
So, yeah, everyone that was involved in the swinging is divorced. Taylor explains on one of the podcasts that like it was just a whole mess and they didn't do what like, I don't want to say like professional swingers, but like if you're a regular swinger out there, like you have boundaries, you have rules, all your boundaries are set in place. So like stuff like this doesn't happen. And they did not have any boundaries or rules or anything. So that was just a whole cluster. But it was fun to like, not fun, but like it was
entertaining.
Drama. Yeah, just drama to like, wow, these people, what in the freak?
That is perfect. That's exactly what we were looking for.
I have one more thing. The first episode was so bizarre and weird because it was filmed like years ago. They set up a pilot to start the show. I'm pretty sure it's not like confirmed, I don't think, but I think Taylor hinted that there were other members that were going to be on the show. Like the original cast changed a little bit, I think, to what it is now. Because they filmed the pilot, I think, in 2022 or something. It's been a while. I don't remember. Don't quote me. They filmed it like a couple years ago or a few years ago. And then when Taylor got arrested, they were like, okay, we don't want to do this show anymore. I think all the producers and like the people who made the show were like, nah, I don't think we should do this. So they filmed the pilot. She gets arrested. They like all back out and it's like canceled, I think. And then they decide to like reboot it up and they had to recast. And I think what Taylor made it sound like, anyway, is that some of the girls that were on it for the original pilot decided to not be on it anymore. Since Taylor was arrested, they were like, we don't want to be associated with her anymore. If she's going to be on it, I don't want to do it anymore. And so I think they had to recast some of the girls. And so I think that's why the first episode was so confusing because you're going to probably bring up the conversation with Macy and Taylor at the beginning. I would bet money that their original conversation, the original pilot, they talked about other people that were originally on the show, and they had to just cut all these chunks out because that person's not on the show anymore. That's what I think. And so then it just turned into like this, what are we talking about moment of like, this whole conversation makes zero sense. That was pointless. I think they had to chop out a whole bunch in the first episode. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. The editing was awful. And thank goodness you told me that as well, because I Marco Polo you at that first conversation when Macy and Taylor are at lunch or whatever. They literally say, hi, sit down. First words out Macy's mouth. I feel like my husband doesn't initiate sex.
So random. What?
There was no lead up to that.
No.
It was literally, hi, I don't feel like my husband initiates sex.
Yeah. Like, what? And then didn't they say like they hadn't seen each other for a long time, and that's the first word?
Well, and that's the thing, is you could tell that it was so clearly cut in such a weird way. And I'm like, oh, the only reason that one sentence made it in is because she said the word sex. Yeah. Because these producers and these editors are looking for these triggering things for people of like, you know, make everybody gasp or whatever. Oh, she said sex. Ooh. Or, you know, or Demi drinking, like, or whatever. Like, of course they're gonna add that in. Because it's gonna cause the conversation, it's gonna cause the controversy. Like, oh my gosh, there was so much about that whole conversation. My Marco Polo to you was like, what was that? What was that?
I remember that.
And then Taylor, the only thing that she mentions is like, no, I have a lot of trust issues with Dakota. Oh, okay, sounds healthy.
Yeah.
Sounds so healthy.
The end. Good to see you. Bye.
Bye. So stupid.
So random.
The first episode feels so disconnected from everything else.
Because it was, filmed a long time ago. I'm sure they added in like present day things with it, but I just think it was edited so bad with the previous pilot. They combined like 2 different pilots and put them together. There, that's all.
Yeah, it was awful. Okay, other notes that I had. Whitney and Connor trying alcohol at their new apartment was so stupid to me.
Stupid.
Oh, it was so dumb. Because once again, there were so many parts where I was like, that was so manufactured just to bring up certain things. So them going into this apartment, which is not even the house or apartment that they move into like the rest of the series. Like,
so weird.
What even was this place? Well, they go in, there's this bottle of, what is it, champagne? They don't know how to open it. And then they finally open it and they decide that they're gonna drink it, which, okay. But it felt, everything about this series to me honestly felt like adolescent members of the church that are like, oh my gosh, should I break the rules?
Yeah.
Like, you're an adult, nobody cares.
Yeah.
You're not breaking a rule. Like, this should be something that either like you decide for yourself that you're gonna follow. Like, there shouldn't be this outside force of just like this dictatorship or whatever of like, I can't do it because I'm a member. Like, I think that is such surface level membership, in my personal opinion. I am not abstaining from alcohol because some church leader told me to.
Right.
Like, I have decided for personal reasons that I am going to abstain from alcohol.
Yeah.
And like, that's that. And so I'm not ever tempted in those moments to be like, oh, wait, should I break the rules?
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like, if I try some alcohol, I'm not going to hell. We don't believe in hell. So like, that whole narrative makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna be struck by lightning. I'm not gonna, like, that's not what this is. It's just a value that either you believe in and live or you don't. But like,
exactly.
Oh, I just thought it was so stupid. I was like, okay. And then being like, ew, so gross.
I know, the whole like faucet in the kitchen. I'm like, oh my gosh, calm down. She had like a tiny sip. I'm like, it's not like you gulped it down and you're gonna throw up. I've tasted alcohol and it did not give me a reaction like that.
No,
she was totally overreacting.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Unless you're taking like a shot, like there was no need to act like that.
That was exactly my thought on it. Is I was like, girl, You acted like you just drank vodka or something
Yeah.
when you drink basically like sparkling water. Like,
Like, yeah, I don't like the taste of it either, but I didn't
yeah, it's not
like
that serious.
freak out and have a panic attack.
I will say, Whitney's husband's admittance to his porn addiction and getting on Tinder and stuff, that felt very real to me, as far as not only did I feel like the conversation between them was pretty authentic, but I think it's a common conversation amongst church members. I really do.
Mhm.
Especially being in the sex educator fields, I can tell you it's very common. I could really break that down as to why all of those things, but
Yeah.
I think pornography in general is just really hyper fixated on in our religion as being so bad, so terrible, shameful, horrible, that it causes like so much additional pain that
Mhm.
is unnecessary because it has so much stigma on it. And not that I think like pornography is great. Like I
Mhm.
definitely don't, but I do not think this tactic of like, let's shame everybody into making them feel like they're a terrible person if they've
Yeah.
watched it, especially boys and men. I
Yeah.
think that is so harmful.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. So I felt like that was showing a side that not a lot of people want to talk about, but is very real amongst this religion. Do you have any
Yeah.
thoughts on that?
I think even just the whole topic of sex in general too. I guess I do kind of agree a lot with what the girls on the show say about like the topic of sex and how we're brought up like it's a no, 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 awful. If you do anything before marriage, you're just disowned basically. Then when you like get married and on your wedding night, you're like all of a sudden have to flip your brain like a switch. You're like, oh, this is just fine. Like it, I think it's kind of a trauma in its own. I don't like how, like, I will definitely not make my daughter feel like it's a no, 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 no. Like, obviously, I want her to wait until she's with somebody and like they get married and that's who she's going to be with. But like, I don't want her to feel like she can't talk to me if she gets involved in something. Not, I'm not meaning like anything like non-consensual, just, if she wants to, I want her to be prepared and I don't know. Nobody talks about it. It's really sad. Like my mom didn't talk to me about it. I mean, I figured out everything on my own, and I don't think that's the way it should be. Because I don't know. That's kind of my scrambled thoughts, if that all makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Just all of that
Absolutely.
topic together should be talked about more, I guess, and not make you just feel like in your own head about it and shame and all that. But
As a sex educator, I feel very, 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 very strongly
like
that.
I want to be clear that like I like how the church stands where like you should wait until marriage, it's like a sacred beautiful thing, but I don't like how it is talked about before you're married, how it's just ingrained. You're like brainwashed basically.
Oh,
So,
100%. And in such a harmful way. And
yeah.
as someone who works in that field, I literally see every single day the direct results of that teaching, or really
Hmm.
the lack thereof. And it's very fear based. And this insecurity that a lot of adults have, um, when it comes to talking about sex, relating to it, viewing themselves as sexual people and
Hmm.
humans, it seems to always have this contradiction of spirituality is not linked to sexuality, and in fact sexuality is evil. Is a
Hmm.
lot of times this narrative, like, oh, you're having a sexual feeling or a sexual thought, like sing a hymn and it'll make it go away, and that
Yeah. Wow.
I literally can't tell you how harmful that is, especially because doctrinally that is
Hmm.
so false. That our spirituality and sexuality are so intertwined that to take away one or to put sexuality as this evil thing really can deteriorate one's view of themselves, and it makes it very difficult to fully open up yourself to pleasure and to desire in a lot of different aspects. And there are so
Yeah.
many couples that I work with that have been married for years, and a lot of their problems stem from these narratives that they were taught growing up. Even the things you don't say is still teaching something, right? If you
Hmm.
as a parent are not talking to your kids about something or saying like, oh, we can't talk about that, then
Hmm.
kids are getting these ideas that like, oh, then that's bad. Like, why can't we
Yeah.
talk about it? It must be wrong. It must be
Hmm.
this way. And it
Well, then it makes you like curious. I don't think kids would be as curious if it wasn't like, no, 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 no. And then I think that what makes them get into all the stuff that's like addicting, and then they're watching porn, and then they're doing this, and then, yeah. So,
Oh, exactly. Exactly. They're going to be exposed to those things. There was a book I read really early in my studies of sex ed called The Talk by, I think it's Sharon Maxwell. She's a PhD. Phenomenal. And it really takes you through how to talk to your kids about sex from like the time they're born until
oh, you
today.
told me about this.
Oh, you
Yeah.
have to read this book.
Yeah.
But what I really, really like about it is she shows you exactly how your children are being exposed to sex through
Hmm.
media, through campaigns, how these businesses expose them. So this idea that like your young child is not being exposed, that's a
Yeah.
lie. Like you're literally
Oh,
lying to yourself.
100%.
Like wake up. And
Yep.
if you do not teach your child, then this media, which is completely inaccurate, and pornography will teach them. There is
Yep.
no getting around that.
Yeah.
And there are ways to not make it shameful, to not make it this touchy subject, to make it something empowering and beautiful, and allow children and especially teens to have more autonomy in what they're going to do with their sexuality, how they're going to use it. A lot of
Yep.
girls use it as a manipulation through immaturity. If you just think of like teenagers nowadays, wow, we're like really going off. But think of like teenagers nowadays,
Yeah.
right? Women and girls especially, and within this religious culture, they are usually secondary to men. Now, that is not doctrinally correct, but that's culturally what happens. So then they reach a certain age that all of a sudden they're like, wait, my body can be used to manipulate and to get what I want.
Yeah.
And so they're in the book, it's called The Power of Sexy. And they're like, oh, I can use this. This is fun. This is exciting to like be powerful and to feel this. And so then they'll overuse it. But once again, they're getting all of their validation from what men and boys think about them, which is very harming to
Hmm.
their own self-esteem. But that's also not kind to like use things as a manipulation. And but if we teach it in a healthy way and we help them understand that like being beautiful is not wrong, you're also not responsible for boys' thoughts. But
Yeah.
like there is
Exactly.
a way to be kind and know when you're trying to manipulate someone to get what you want using your body or using something else, and like really allowing them to learn and decide for themselves if that's really how they want to go about it, is if they
Yeah.
want to be manipulating or if they want to make more honest choices in how they
Right.
view themselves and their sexuality and others.
Oh,
Anyways,
love it. I love it.
moving on.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll keep any of that in, but moving on. Okay, this is last thing we got to talk about on episode 1. The conversation that the girls have on the couch. That moment where they're all talking and Whitney confesses that her husband had this porn addiction and was on Tinder and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then it turns to Taylor and she's like,
Hmm.
so I was pregnant. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's not a good thing. I miscarried. The nonchalance in
Yeah.
that conversation. And again, you explained it a little bit better to me. So I'll give you a second to kind of explain what it was actually like on social media. But in the editing of this episode, I was honestly offended
Hmm.
for anyone who's ever had a miscarriage. I Marco Polo Jew and was like, what was that? That must have offended so many people to be
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
how could she act like that?
I almost feel like, I don't know if this is true. It probably isn't. I don't know. It almost made me feel like because on social media, current timing of when that was happening to her, because I followed her when this all happened. And I felt like she was a lot more like caring towards other people and like more emotional about it. And it was sad. But then on this show, it was like, whatever. Went to the doctor, got my blood drawn. Yeah. I almost wonder if they just like made her film that for drama so that Whitney could get mad because she just like took the spotlight from Whitney.
I feel like that was the beginnings of them trying to paint Whitney as the villain.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be so for real. I do not think, after watching this entire thing, that Whitney was a villain.
Okay.
I know that the cast is like saying she is. They're doing podcasts being like, she didn't think that she was going to be the villain, but she like obviously was. You have other podcasters agreeing that she's the villain, blah, 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 blah. I don't think she is. I don't think she's the villain. What do you think?
I feel undecided, I guess.
Do I think any of these girls are nice?
No. Yeah, that's true. No.
If they wanted to come to church, they can absolutely sit next to me.
Oh, yeah.
100%. And I talk to him. But do I want to be a part of their group?
No. Yeah, no. I don't want to be their friend. With Whitney, everyone in podcasts that I've heard, like clips, everyone else is saying Whitney thought Taylor was going to be the villain. And since she wasn't, it kind of fell on her. It's like she spent too much time trying to make Taylor the villain that it like backfired. But I'm undecided about her. I don't want to say I don't care, but like I wouldn't say she's a villain and I wouldn't say she's not a villain. I don't know if villain's even the right word. I think she just was trying to accomplish something and didn't accomplish it, and she's mad about it.
I think to her core, Whitney is a deeply insecure person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that her behavior demonstrates that in almost every way. I think she requires validation from all external sources to get value. And I don't think she's set up in place for herself like a good protection for social media. Because like if you're going to put yourself out there like that, you have got to have things in place to make sure that you're not going to internalize people's opinions of you.
Yeah.
And whether that be like you aren't the one controlling your comments or you go to a special therapist, I really believe that if you're going to put yourself out there like that, you need to know who you are before you do that. And you need to have things in place to help you not change that opinion of yourself based on what other people think of you.
Yeah.
And I just think Whitney doesn't know how to self-regulate her feelings. And I completely agree with you. She wanted Taylor to be this villain and for her to be this victim because I think she plays the victim really well.
Yeah.
But I don't find it to be a malicious thing, her playing the victim. I see it from a source of like pain. That she's just immature in her handling of her feelings.
Yeah. She was just on, I think it might be released now. She was on the Squeeze podcast with Taylor Lautner and his wife Taylor.
Oh yeah.
And it's just a solo interview with Whitney. I want to listen to that too, just to get her side of the story, because I think she's sat out on a lot of the group interviews with the other girls.
Here's the other thing, that throughout the series, she is saying no to things. She's like, no, I'm not going to go to that. No, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to leave the group chat. And of course, they are painting this picture and editing it in a way that like she's looking for someone to reach out to her and she's playing the victim and doing that. And I think, yes, there is some truth to that. I do believe.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that her saying straight up, like, I'm not friends with these ladies and I don't want to pretend like I am, is actually bad. Like, I think she was, in some instances, the most honest one of the group.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not friends with Taylor. Why are you all forcing me to pretend like I am? I don't have to like her. And I kind of agreed with her. Like, actually, you don't.
Yeah.
I think if I'm going to paint anybody as the villain here, which I don't think anybody is the villain. I agree. Like, that's a little too black and white, a little too one-sided. Yeah. But I think the meanest, or
I think I know who you're going to say.
To me, I'm sorry, but she was so bitchy.
And she's the fan favorite.
Which I can't believe. Yeah, I think her and Jesse
Yeah, together are like,
together, those are some catty, mean girls.
uh-huh.
But it all just felt so immature. It just felt like I was
Yeah.
watching a bunch of high schoolers that
And
also happen to have children. Okay,
but,
moving on.
okay, moving on.
Episode 2. I liked Macy in this episode, but she can also be mean as well.
She can, yeah.
But I think she is one of the most real ones. And her story, I can't believe it
Mhm.
didn't make it on the show.
Yeah.
I think she can be catty at times, but I liked her the most. Her and Jen were my favorites.
Okay, yeah. I like Jen. I don't know if I have a favorite. I do like Taylor. I'm not
I
gonna
do
lie.
like Taylor as well. I hated
Yeah.
her in episode 1. I thought she was
Yeah,
hardcore
yeah.
villain, and I hated Dakota, but
Yeah.
Taylor grew on me.
Yeah, I like Taylor.
Her being pregnant at the same
I
time,
know.
and everyone just demanding stuff from her, and her being
Yeah,
like, I'm so tired. I'm like, when she says she's tired, I think this is a different kind of tired. Like, look at this girl.
I know.
Look at her. Why are you making her go to Vegas when she
I
is
know.
due in 17 days?
Oh,
Like,
oh my gosh. When we get to the Vegas episode. Yeah, I don't want to forget to say this, but Dakota, how, you know how all the girls were like, why is Dakota coming? Like, she could go into labor at any moment.
oh yeah.
Of course, I would be bringing Cameron with me. I'm like, you guys need to back off. How they're like, it's just a ladies' trip. Like, Dakota just weaseled himself in. I'm like, she's like 3 weeks out from her due date, you psychos. Oh my gosh.
I
But
love
yeah,
how we're only on episode 2.
I know.
Um, okay, Taylor's mom. You can tell that her parents and her, like, they really love each other. I feel like they have a good relationship. But Mama Taylor, like, the words you're saying are not helpful. You being like,
Yeah,
well, you shouldn't have gotten pregnant. Okay, it's too
yeah,
late. It's
yeah,
too late. And
yeah.
her just being like, Taylor, why did you get yourself in this situation? Like, there was nothing helpful about what she
No,
had to say to her.
nothing.
And then her and her dad pushing marriage on Taylor, I was like, that is not what she needs right now. And also, I think that's a terrible idea.
Hmm.
I felt like that moment of her mom and dad talking about, like, well, in our religion, we need to get married. And so that felt so scripted to me.
Yeah.
So scripted. I am sure that there are families like that where if someone gets, pregnant out of wedlock, their parents are going to push for marriage. I am sure that's a thing.
Hmm.
But not in my world. Like, not in the people that I associate with. Like, I feel like anybody could look at that situation and be like, having Taylor and Dakota get married right now, not a good choice.
Yeah.
Not healthy.
No.
Not going to be the best situation for this child.
No. I don't know. I don't go around saying, well, as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, that is never in my like sentence.
Oh, absolutely. The whole thing, I was like, what are they talking about right now? Like,
It's
what
like
are they saying?
they have to do it just for the show, I guess.
I felt like that. I felt
Yeah.
like it was very scripted in that
And
moment. Okay, next up we have Whitney deciding whether or not she's going to promote the vibrator.
oh yeah. That was like scripted too, because she's like, have any of you guys had a weird brand deal like offer? It's like, oh, here we go.
Here's what I will say about that as someone who literally works in a sex store.
Oh yeah.
It's not
It
my
was
like
fun.
day job. I just work there for fun
Yeah.
to get access to products so I can do my day job better. But I agreed with a lot of what Whitney had to say.
Oh
like
yeah.
her conversation with her mom, I felt like was such a real, honest conversation. Her talking to her mom and saying like, well, sex was always like not talked about growing up, and it was like this bad thing, and I want to change that. And her mom admitting that, if I could go back, I would change that. I thought it
Hmm.
was a really sweet moment. But also Layla, when the girls are together and it's like, have you not orgasmed? And Layla's like, I've never orgasmed. That, at least in my line of work, in this church and religion, I primarily work with church members. It's so common, like women not experiencing pleasure in a sexual relationship for
Hmm.
a lot of different reasons, because they don't actually know where their nerve endings are, and the husband definitely doesn't know. Sex is only seen as one way.
Well,
There's a lot
then
of
how she said, I get scared when I like get that feeling. And it's like that goes back to probably how you were raised, where it's like, no, 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 this is horrible. Your brain is wired to like, this is wrong. And then you freak out. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's what I got from that.
Oh,
Because she's
absolutely.
like, I'm scared anytime I like feel like I'm going to, I get scared and stop.
Oh, that happens all the time with my clients that I work with. And I mean, that's why they're in therapy. I'm not their
Hmm.
therapist, I'm their educator, but they
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
take my suggestions or I can't help them and tell them about different products until they get to a point where they figure out where that fear is coming from and like how to kind of combat that fear. But
Yeah.
a vibrator can really help. And there are lots of vibrators that are designed to be used at the same time as penetration with a partner.
Hmm.
Like it's not going to get in the way. It can help enhance. I mean, just for educational purposes, the clitoris has 10,000 more nerve endings than the tip of the penis. Okay? If we're not enacting those nerve endings and you're just doing something vaginally, I mean, only 30% of women orgasm vaginally. It's the same tissue
Wow.
and material that's made out of the scrotum. So
Hmm.
sometimes this is a very, very simplified thing. It's not 100% accurate, but
Yeah, yeah.
for some clients where the spouse is like, well, shouldn't I be enough? It's like, okay, how about she just like plays with your testicles for 30 minutes and then you tell me how great that felt? Because it's probably gonna feel good, but like, is it gonna feel amazing? No, because
Yeah,
that's not what your nerve endings are.
yeah.
Imagine it's the same kind of situation of like vaginally versus where her nerve endings are. Okay, like it's
Right.
not the same.
And that's so awful, the people that have partners like that.
Right?
That it's like, I don't know, that makes me mad.
Oh, keeps me up at night.
Like proud guys that are like, I should be enough. It's like, shut up.
Well, yeah, a lot of times it comes from an insecurity in men because men are taught a very limited way of what it means to be a man.
Mm.
Anyways, sorry, you get me talking about sex, and I'm like,
No, no,
this is,
I love it.
it's just such an important topic. So I like that they were talking about vibrators and things, and Layla admitting that she's had 2 kids and never orgasmed.
Yeah,
I've met couples and worked with couples that have been married for 3 years and never had penetration because it's too painful because she has
yeah,
vaginismus, which is this unintentional tightening of the pelvic floor. You need to see a pelvic floor therapist for that. You need to see a therapist for that, a sex therapist. And they don't know that. And a lot of women suffer in silence. And I think it's really, really heartbreaking and sad, especially within the church where we talk about being able to receive and feel full joy. That's a part of our theology is
hmm,
joyful living, but somehow there's this huge disconnection when it comes to sexuality that all of a sudden it doesn't apply to
yeah,
sexuality when yet we have that as like the culminating biggest you do all of this to get married and then what you're gonna have a like terrible sex life like what
yeah,
how is that the prize.
yeah. Oh man, we could go so far into that conversation, but
Yeah,
anyway,
but we'll move
back to the show.
on to episode 3. I wanted to know your opinion on Jen's baby blessing situation
Okay,
because you have had a baby blessing. You have
I
your baby
have.
done been blessed.
My baby has been blessed. Oh my. My opinion on that whole situation is Jen and her husband have a right. They can invite whoever the heck they want, and it's their decision. And if you're not invited, I don't feel like you should be butthurt about it. It's their baby blessing. That's a sacred thing. Even if it's not a sacred thing that you're not invited to, it's like, I don't know. It's the fact that she did invite them and then uninvited them. And I don't think that was very, like, nice, I guess. If I know I'm not going to invite somebody, I'm not going to talk about it with them. Even if she didn't say the words like invited or whatever, it shows a past clip of her in the car talking about it when it's going to be. I wouldn't talk about it if I'm not going to invite you. You know what I mean? And so I don't think that was good that Jen did that. But then also on the other hand, whatever her name, Demi, whatever, and Jesse, I get what they're coming from, trying to like tell her how she should have done it, like handled the situation, but they also need to like respect her decision at the same time. I don't know. And I almost feel like Jen's husband was just like, before that phone call, like that FaceTime call even happened, I almost wonder if Jen's husband was like, just let me take the blame, put it on me. Because my husband's done that before in the past where it's like, just blame me, just put the whole blame on me. And it's like, oh, okay, that makes it easier. I don't know. That's kind of my whole thoughts on it. I think Jen should have handled it better. Shouldn't even invited them in the first place if she didn't want them to come.
Who did you invite to your baby blessing? Because you had it at your home as well.
I only did family. I don't think I had any friends because I would have invited you, obviously. My situation was a little different because I wanted it to be at my home, and our bishop told us no. And I sent a very long email to him. It was nice. You helped me make it sound nice.
It was very nice.
I was fuming, but you helped me soften it up and sent it. And then he was like, okay, he came over and like apologized and said, okay, we can do it at the home. But then it made me and Cameron be like, okay, well, now we can't invite like everyone we want to, because our argument with the bishop was we didn't want our daughter to get sick. That's why we didn't want to do it at the church building. We wanted to do it at home with our like immediate family. It's just an intimate setting where I know where everyone has been. And if there's like even a reason that they could maybe be sick, they're not coming. So that was like our argument. And so we were like, okay, well, now we can't invite everyone we want to because he's going to be here and we can't have like a house full of like everybody under the sun. So that's like kind of why we had to just stick with just family. But it worked out. It was a really good day. And also, it was true. I didn't want to get sick. I went through, if you listen to my story on the last episode that I was on, I was still going through like my healing from my blood clots from my pregnancy and everything. And if I were to get sick, I could get pneumonia very easily. So it was true. We wanted to invite more people, but we needed to stay healthy and everything. But
I want you to know I was not offended. I didn't FaceTime call you and be like, how dare you not invite me to your baby blessing? We left off talking about Jen and the baby shower and how we felt like, you know, it was unfortunate the way that it was handled. Maybe she shouldn't have been speaking about it before the invites were really settled and before she had a conversation with her husband about who was going to be invited. Maybe she shouldn't have opened up the convo on that. But nevertheless, it was fine that she uninvited people. She could have done it a little bit better. And she even admits, you know, that was my fault. I think it was fine. But this whole sinners and saints narrative that was put on it, I felt like that was very much for the show.
Yes, I think so too.
So that I was like, oh, please. The sinners and saints. I don't know about you, but Jesus sat with the sinners. So I will be at that table all day. I myself am a sinner. All day, every day, I'm a sinner.
And I don't even like how they're like categorizing it either. I don't know. I don't like how it was categorized and like, oh, you're a sinner because you like drink coffee.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that are the nicest, most kind, incredible people I've ever met in my life that are not a part of this religion, that drink coffee, that drink alcohol, that do all of the things that I choose not to do for various reasons. But that doesn't make me a better person. It's not like that.
Yeah.
That's not the comparison. And so I just hate that they kind of whittle it down to those superficial things.
Yeah.
But I think any religious group is going to have that, where there's going to be some judgmental division because we are imperfect humans and we love making a hierarchy of things.
Oh, and I judge. We're judging right now.
Oh, so absolutely. I judge all day. Hence why I need to go to church, because I'm a sinner. And we bring it all back. I'm a sinner. So thank goodness for Jesus. But I'm honest when I'm judging. If I'm judging you, it doesn't make it right. But at least I'm going to tell you that I am. I'm a little bit more honest in my judgings.
That's so funny.
Okay, let me see.
What's next?
What else we have? Oh, okay, I had to bring this up because you have Zach's graduation party, right? And there they had fizz soda.
Oh, yeah.
And I did enjoy that. I did enjoy the authenticity of showing how prevalent soda is a part of our culture.
Yeah. I personally don't drink soda just because I just don't like it. But wow.
Everyone does. It's like, it's insane.
It is insane. It is so crazy. And I can't even tell you how difficult it is for me to explain to people who ask me, like, okay, wait, break this down for me. So you guys can have 44-ounce Dr. Pepper sodas every day, multiple times a day, but you can't drink coffee. And I'm like, I understand where you're coming from. And
I know.
I see what you're seeing. It's
Yep.
insane. Which again, this conversation of it being these surface level things, because what is the word of wisdom? It is a health code in the same ways that Muslims have a health code or Jews have a health code. And if you want to look at it as this very strict rule of like, oh, well, it says that I can't do this, but it never said that I couldn't do this other thing. And you're going to look at it as this very, again, prescriptive way of living. I think that is extremely limiting, and it's not actually the point. You lose in that your ability to choose, which is what we believe most in, is our agency
Yeah.
to choose things. And some people take it to an extreme where they're like, absolutely not, no soda at all, or at least in my view, I view it as extreme, but maybe to them it's not. You know, there's a big scale in what people do or do not do. I personally am in a similar boat as you. I just don't really drink soda. I mean, I will have it, and I love
Yeah,
all of the
same.
mix-ins. I love how we do soda here.
Yeah.
Because we do it well.
It can be tasty for sure.
But it's not my go-to drink. Milk is. I'm a milk girl all
Oh yeah,
day.
you're the milk. You got those cows. Oh my gosh.
I'm a true moo chocolate milk
Yeah.
girl.
I just like water.
It's just so funny to me how when we break it down to like, wait, you can't do this, but you can do this. I'm like, yeah, that's because people are not actually living the true value. Because if you actually understood the value and you believed in it and like, you know, decided to make a choice based on your belief, I don't think anyone would go to the conclusion of having a 44-ounce soda every day is the best decision.
Right, you're right. Yep.
If you're really doing
God.
it for your health, I don't think you're gonna land on that being okay.
Yeah.
We're crazy. I get why people come at us with those arguments. Like, you're making it hard for the rest of us to defend
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
But anyways, I just loved that Fizz was there because I was
Oh
like,
my
oh,
God.
I like Fizz. Their lemonade stuff, I find it enjoyable when I occasionally go by.
Yeah.
Once again, anybody who says that the show is inaccurate completely, you're
Yeah.
lying to yourself.
Oh, yep. I
You're
would say it's pretty on the nose on some things.
absolutely it is.
I do think the same goes for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They both, that show and this one, do kind of preach how like the message of like women are brought up to be like housewives in like a traditional household basically. But I disagree.
Oh, I disagree with that.
I wasn't raised that way. None of my friends were raised that way. So it's like I don't like how they preach that all the time in these shows to portray us, but I mean,
Oh yeah. They're always
whatever.
gonna go for the extremes. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's what we know. From the inside, it's like we know that
Yeah.
what's being showed is the extreme because nobody cares about
Yeah.
the actual reality.
And I'm
Because
not
it's
gonna go to my
boring.
Facebook and post, this is not how I live. And no, I mean, it's not how I live and was raised, but like, it's just funny how people are all over just,
Yeah.
oh, it's
The
great.
reality of the situation of us being not extreme is boring. Nobody cares. That's why just like regular Christians, I don't know. I'm not really looking at like non-denominational Protestants as I'm not looking them up and being like fascinated with them. Why?
Right.
Because I find it boring. It's like, oh, you go to church on Sunday, you like have a youth group, you like are involved in your church, cool.
Yeah.
Good for you. But if someone's extreme in their practice of like they've memorized the Bible, I'm gonna be like, oh wow. Like that's crazy. But like that's the outlier. That's not the norm. But of course that's not what media is going to show.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. So
Anyway, okay,
next
what?
up, we have the alcohol in the pool with Jessie and her husband.
I thought that was so dumb.
Was that not the most awkward thing ever?
I almost wonder, like, I don't even know if that was scripted. It just felt awkward and cringy and like, aren't you guys like 30? If I was at my friend's in-laws' house, I'm not bringing a freaking flask. You can go 2 hours without a drink. Like,
Oh my gosh.
even if it wasn't a religious household, I'm not bringing alcohol into my friend's in-laws' house. That's weird.
Right. Especially knowing that the in-laws don't drink.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There were so many things. I felt like this scene is what, as a teenager, I thought it would be like to be an adult who doesn't drink. I
That's a
thought
perfect description.
I thought it would be me in a hot tub, tempted, just being shoved a flask towards my face. Of like, are you gonna take it? Do you want it? And then having to stand up and say no. Like, and everyone, they might not like what you have to say and they might not get it. And like,
I
as
feel
someone who has lived across the world, has been to many bars, many clubs, has been around so many friends and wonderful, amazing humans. My best friends drink.
yeah.
Not one time have I ever been in that situation, nor will I ever be. Because once again, no one cares.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was so incredibly awkward with them being like, yeah, you want to take something? Like, it literally felt like I was watching some high school lesson of them, like
Yeah.
they're about to pause it, and some seminary teacher's about to come out and be like, you see here, let's learn a lesson.
It was weird. It felt like a Twilight Zone moment. I was like, okay, next.
Yeah.
Demi and her husband are just like making out. That was uncomfy too.
Well, and then them being like, give this girl a shot. Like, it just all felt so juvenile. Like, anyone
Yeah,
who
yeah.
just genuinely doesn't drink, nobody's saying stuff like that to you.
No, yeah.
They're not, because everyone actually turns out is pretty respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the Galentine's party
Oh,
and
brother.
the Fruity Pebbles. What was your thoughts on that?
I feel like Whitney really did that to herself. That was a poor choice on Whitney's. Obviously, I'm sure when they got told that story at whatever party they were at, when they first heard that story, I'm sure Demi was like, but don't say anything. Why would you bring that up on national television? So, yeah, I don't think Whitney should have done that.
Oh, I completely agree. I do think Demi crossed a line just in
Oh,
loyalty to her
yes.
spouse.
I was gonna say that too, yeah.
I mean, it's one thing sharing a story with your girlfriends and being like, hey,
Hmm.
this doesn't leave this room. But especially
Yeah.
these gossip mongers,
Yeah.
don't be opening up the door to your bedroom to these ladies.
No.
Because they're gonna swing that open. They're gonna kick it down and they're gonna have a camera. Like, don't be doing that. You can tell, your closest girlfriend maybe, but
Yeah, yeah.
even then, I think some things should just stay between a couple.
I agree.
But hey, listen, if you gotta tell somebody, tell the one girlfriend that you know that you're like, this dies with you, but I
Yeah.
need to tell somebody about what we did.
Yeah, Demi also did that to herself too, and because she didn't Macy say like I was like no way that happened, and she called like Demi called her husband and put it on speaker, but he didn't know he was on speaker. That's rude too.
I forgot about that part. That's so not cool. Betraying some trust right there.
Yeah,
Once again, I think we're just going to bring up sex so much in this episode because it was brought up a lot.
yeah.
But I think in general, the church views sex as either fear based, terrible as we've gone over, or purely comical, purely
Mm.
something funny, some sound bite or bit. I mean, I see it oh my gosh, every single time these stupid bride and groom groups, like groomsmen and bridesmaids, come in to the sex store to buy something for the
Oh,
wedding, especially the groomsmen. Oh my gosh. It's so frustrating because they'll walk through the doors. They're in their, suit and tie or whatever from the wedding. They've got their boutonnieres on. It's very obvious. They're a
they
groomsmen group.
come like the same day?
Oh, absolutely. They come from the wedding to like
Whoa.
on the way to the reception every single day. Well,
Wow. Okay.
and especially because I only work twice a week and like on the
Like on
weekends.
weekends.
Yeah. On the weekends, they're always there and they're so loud, they're so obnoxious, but it really drives me crazy because they come in and they're just everything's a joke, everything's
Hmm.
funny. And I think there's a time and a place for that.
Right.
But to me, it's honestly sad that we can only see sex as a joke.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're going to buy these gag gifts that are really harmful, actually, for especially if you have a extremely sexually conservative couple, the bride especially. If she's terrified, if this virgin that's getting married and she's only
Mhm.
ever taught that it's fearful, right? She's so scared,
Yeah.
so sad, but she's terrified. And you go in and you buy her this giant dildo
Oh gosh.
and gummy panties that are gonna give her a yeast infection. You don't get her anything useful. One time I had a group of married people. It was 4 married couples coming in to buy a gift for their friends that were getting married.
Yeah.
They bought a ball gag and like cuffs. I was like, are you serious? And they were talking about how conservative this bride was and how scared she was to have sex and like how she can't even say the word sex. That's what you're going to give as a gift because it's funny to you. How is that
Wow.
nice? How is that kind? It's not.
No,
And so
that's sad.
I think this like opens up a bigger conversation of if you actually want to be helpful to a new couple, especially ones that have been raised in a sexually conservative culture, get them some lube samples. Get
Hmm.
them things that aren't going to cause them a yeast infection. Like get them a book called Come As You Are or something similar
Yeah.
that's going to teach them about the things that they probably have never been taught. And especially a lot of the couples again that I work with, a lot of things that have triggered the problems in their marriage. I mean, I'm meeting with couples that have been married for 15 years and their problems come from their honeymoon because they had a
Holy
very,
moly.
very traumatic honeymoon. I mean, probably I would say at least 40% of my couples have
Wow.
traumatic honeymoons.
That's sad.
Isn't that heartbreaking?
Yeah.
So to me, coming back to like this whole conversation of like, I just always am a little bit annoyed when the conversation is only ever painted as like a joke or your
Yeah.
sexuality or like sharing something about what you've done is only for like the shock value when I think it should be a lot more than that. And I think it
Hmm.
should have some sacredness in trust between partners that some things are not meant to be shared with other people
Yeah.
outside of me and
Yep.
you know?
I agree.
Especially with the cameras. None of these girls are girls.
No.
And I think that was my biggest issue.
Yeah.
Ladies, women support women. What are we doing? You're all
Yeah.
preaching that you're trying to break the norm and show that like we're outspoken and we don't, bow down to the patriarchy. Listen, I'm all about that, but like you're also not boosting up other women.
No, yeah. Oh
You're
my
just
gosh.
you're just painting the picture with a different color, but it's the same picture. You're just painting it with pink rather than blue, but like how about we change the picture?
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Oh,
goodness.
that's good.
Okay. The last thing I had written down on that was I can't with all the temple shots.
Oh my. Across here and there, and then oh we got Moroni. It's like I don't understand.
Well, it's because we don't have enough imagery as a church, so they had to like pull from other like Christian religions.
That's true.
Like
Oh,
I
that's
think at
so
one
funny.
point they had the Mother Mary.
Yeah, they
in the
did.
very-
Oh my gosh.
if you
Yeah,
know anything
literally.
about our church, like you
That's
won't
so
be seeing crosses in our church buildings.
funny.
So that was funny that they're like showing like stained glass. It's like
Yeah.
what? I have a theory about the intro. being filmed in front
Oh,
of, yeah, you want to hear it?
okay. Yeah, I do.
Because it was filmed in front of the old Provo Temple, which
Yeah.
by a lot of standards, one of the ugliest temples. Like, we have some gorgeous looking temples.
Yeah.
I think they did that because it was right before it got knocked down. So that way, if there was any chance to like sue because they're like misusing church imagery, I feel like it would be in the intro. Because it's more
Oh.
of like a prolonged thing, them standing in front of the temple holding hands, blah, blah, blah. I feel like if they used, I don't know, I could be wrong, but if they used like the Orem temple or the
Mhm.
Timpanogos or something like more nearby that's a lot prettier, I don't know. I feel like there could have been a lawsuit there
Yeah.
saying like you can't use our private property to promote something that we don't agree with,
Yeah.
you know, and like that's a building. I don't know if that has any validity to it, but I think that's why they chose that temple because they knew it was going
Interesting.
to be knocked down. So the church can't say that like they own that image or anything anymore because the building doesn't even exist anymore.
That's true.
But I
I
don't know.
wondered why they picked that one. Yeah, that's interesting. Fascinating.
That's my theory on it.
Okay.
Okay, episode 4. They go away for the girls' weekend for Macy's birthday. Here was my first issue in that episode. It was when Jen and Jesse were having a conversation in the room. They're like setting up. And Jesse's talking about leaving her husband alone with their kids for the weekend and
Oh,
how,
yeah.
yeah, and how he was scared. He was like, "Are there any nannies available?" And she was like, "You'll be fine." And then she says, "Would Zach be okay to, be alone with the kids?" And she goes, "Oh, no, no, no."
I could not
Yeah,
believe that. Like my jaw, I think, dropped. I couldn't even imagine being married to somebody who I would be like scared to leave my child with by themselves, or like that I thought wouldn't be capable of taking care of our child by themselves. I hate it so much when people say, this is me judging. I hate it when people say, like a mom who gets to go out and they're like, "Ah, dad's babysitting." And I'm like, uh,
no,
he's also a parent. Like, what do
he's
you
not
mean?
babysitting, he's being a dad.
Yeah, I'm
Is it
like,
called
that's
babysitting
called
when you watch your kid?
exactly. I hate it when it's like, I finally got like free time because dad agreed to babysit. I'm like, what do you mean agreed? You're in it together. I don't understand. Your mom and dad, like, I found that shocking. That's baffling to me and sad. If your husband cannot be with your children by himself, that's just sad to me.
Oh, yeah. I think in those moments, that's when they're being super accurate to this culture of this religion that people don't want to admit is true. But a very role based is where a lot of couples start, and a lot of couples never get past that. It's really hard and it causes a lot of divorce. And
It's
we
like
see it.
quiet. It's like quiet, silent resentment for
Oh,
the
yeah.
wife, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
And then she just
100%.
blows up one day. And I'm very glad I'm in a relationship and a marriage that he's a dad and I'm a mom. Like, it's not, can you watch her while I go hang out with a friend? Well, I mean, obviously, I'm going to ask that. Like, it's not in this way of asking, though, like, are you capable of being a dad? You know what I mean? Like, he's a great dad, a great spouse. Like, I don't know.
But
I,
I think the other thing is he has no problem being alone
and yeah,
either.
he has no problem. No, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like he's like, "Oh, I guess this one time I can do you this favor."
No, yeah, no. And it's not like, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't be alone with her. No.
Jen saying that she forgot her garments.
Oh, yeah.
I've been there. Here's the part that sucks. Because they were like, "Wait, you don't have any other underwear?" As someone who wears garments, I don't have any other underwear. Like, I don't have just a pair of panties. Like, that is my underwear. I felt for her, and then everyone laughing about it. I thought that was kind of comical.
I
I
did think
did.
it was funny. Whoever said, "Can you DoorDash garments?"
Garments.
I do
Yeah.
have other underwear, like for working out and stuff, but like I wouldn't think to pack it, you know?
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, like I have different stuff for
Right.
workout, but they're more like shorts or different things because I do pull in those.
Right.
But just some, Walmart undies. I haven't owned those in like a decade.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
I've been in that situation before, so I just thought it was funny. Here was another scripted moment for me when
Okay.
they were like, should we pray before dinner?
Did they pray? I don't even remember that.
Yes. It was so scripted, I couldn't. Oh, and they're all there with their sodas pretending it's alcohol once again, like
Oh,
a
yeah.
teenager. I'm like, could we stop? You
Yeah,
guys
did
are
they pour it
being-
in like a glass or something?
You guys
That
are
was
so
funny.
immature. Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm like, okay, some of them I constantly had to remind myself that most of them, their brains haven't fully closed. Like they're 23, they're 24, like that frontal lobe hasn't quite,
Yeah.
developed.
Somebody on TikTok was like, okay, but are we not going to talk about the fact that Michaela's husband, like, that was like illegal? Like their whole
Majorly.
situation.
Majorly illegal. I can't believe she admitted that.
She was just like, yeah, I was this age. I was 15, 16, and he was like 23 or whatever the crap age he was, and then just moved on like it was fine. They're still married with kids. And this person on TikTok was just like, are we just like skipping over the fact that like her husband should be in jail?
Yes, we are. Of course we are. So yeah, I felt like the prayer thing was again just playing it up for the TV. Like if I have non-members or people that are not active that I'm around, I'm gonna say that prayer in my heart.
Yeah.
We are not doing this publicly. Like that's weird. It's awkward. That's why we don't pray like in restaurants or in like other spaces, because it's socially awkward. Maybe some families do.
Yeah.
But it becomes more for show than for actual like religious observance or something between you and God. It's just for other people to look at and be like, oh, they prayed. Demi's box of truth.
Oh my, that was a mistake, wasn't it?
That was great TV.
That was a dumpster fire. That was the worst idea ever.
It was not her idea. It was the producers.
True.
I do not believe for one second. I bet she went along with it, but
I was like,
the producers wrote those questions.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
I guess that could be, huh?
The starting question, Layla, which of our spouses would you sleep with?
Oh, that is so not a friend question to ask.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying I think that the producers wrote that because you're not asking that. That's in any situation. That's an inappropriate question.
I was just going to say that's so inappropriate. Oh,
She's like, yeah, it is inappropriate.
That is so inappropriate. You're going to be on the pod.
Yes. Yes, she can make her little debut. Well, and the fact that it just kept going and going and like exploding, I was like, they're all being forced to sit there because you could tell like so many of them were like, oh my gosh, like, and they kept saying, I'm uncomfortable, I'm whatever. If it was a real situation, no cameras there, and like someone had that stupid idea, I feel like out of that entire group, someone would have stopped it and been like, guys, what are we doing?
That's what I was thinking. I would have been that person.
Oh, absolutely. I think Macy would have been that person, honestly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or Jen. I think one person would have said, like, guys, we're just being mean and catty right now. This is not going to lead anywhere to actual honesty. Being mean in the name of honesty. Isn't there a Taylor Swift lyric where she talks about, like, being mean? Oh, here it is. I was right. So it is the lyric, so casually cruel in the name of being honest.
That's right.
I think that these ladies were just showing that lyric. That's not honesty. Clear is kind, but cruelty and saying things in the way that they were saying them and what they were choosing to say, I was like, you guys are not nice people.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know how they were friends after that conversation, to be honest.
Yeah, no kidding.
This was another thing. The insult to Jen of being too Mormon felt so juvenile once again to me. Only in a group of members are you going to get someone who says that you're too Mormon.
Yeah.
Like, no one outside of this religion would say that.
I'm surprised they didn't use the term Molly Mormon.
Yeah, that was a big thing growing up.
Yeah.
You're such a Molly Mormon. Because that's the thing is we love to judge each other,
Yeah.
but no one from the outside's coming in being like, you're too religious.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're just religious.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so funny to me how that was an insult. I was like, of
Yeah.
course it is, because only within this religion would that be an insult. That you're too religious. How dare you?
Yeah.
But also, yeah, the whole thing was just, that was so stupid to me. And then Jen getting offended by it.
Oh.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Like, babe, that's not an insult.
It's just like so childish, everything.
I think it's because there's this fear within the church that if you're too, like, quotes, if you're too Mormon, too religious, you follow the rules too well, that you automatically put yourself in this camp of like not being accepting of other people. Because I think a lot of older generations, it was that very black and white thinking, where
Yeah.
if you're following these things, then I have to separate myself from anyone else who's not. And I genuinely don't feel like it's that extreme. And I certainly do not feel that way at all.
Yeah.
I think I can fully live what I believe, and you cannot, and we can coexist so well.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and I think we can be kind to each other and be nice and
Yep.
gain some perspective from each other. Like, I don't think it is this black and white thing, but I think that's where the fear comes from, is like not being seen as like cool enough. If someone's saying that you're too religious, then you're automatically like, oh, well, you're not cool. You're not like chill. You're not whatever. And of course that matters just so deeply to them.
Yeah.
Like, no one's ever accused me of being cool. I don't live my life to be cool.
Yeah.
If I did, I wouldn't be doing a lot of the things I'm doing, all right? Wearing underwear that, goes mid-thigh isn't cool. I'm not doing it for the clout. But I think in some other ways, we do it for the clout for the religious aspect of wanting to appear a certain way. Like, we want to appear being religious, but we don't want anybody to think we're not cool enough, that we're too religious. Like, what?
What a way to live, man.
So insecure. Everybody just, could we be a little bit more mature?
No, I don't think we can. Oh my gosh,
not in this group. Definitely not. Yeah. Oh, after the conversation with Demi and Whitney, how is Demi not the villain? Once again.
Oh, yeah.
How is Demi or whatever? After literally being so mean to Whitney, to her face. Whitney walking away crying. And then Demi, like a literal younger sibling, being like, yeah, okay, and you just proved me right. You're walking away and like crying. Look at her playing the victim.
Yeah, that was quite the scene. Yeah.
I would never say something to my friend that I'm calling a friend in the name of truth that would make them cry, feel bad about themselves, belittle them, and then be like, oh, look at them playing the victim.
Yeah.
Literally crazy.
Yeah.
I love Macy. When Whitney was like, you didn't even defend me. And she was like, I didn't even know what was going on. I was like, yeah. You knew exactly what's going on. I was like, we've all been in that position. We have all been there where it's like, oh, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to be in the middle of that. So I'm just gonna pretend like I'm like, wait, what's happening? I was confused. No, you weren't. You just didn't want to speak up, and I respect it, but that's a cop-out. Yeah. Because I've done it before.
Same.
Oh man. Okay, episode 5. I actually liked the divorce party.
Oh.
I liked that she threw one, because I do feel like that was getting away from this norm of like, they're talked about how some divorce is seen as the scarlet letter. Personally, I don't agree with that, especially not anymore. But I've also never been divorced. So I don't want to take that from somebody if that was their experience,
Yeah.
But I as someone who has literally 7 friends that are divorced, I don't think that was most of their experiences, nor do I view them as having a big scarlet letter.
Right. Maybe like back in the day, like you said.
Yeah. And
But
that's the thing is all of this stuff is like, okay, yeah, like 20, 30 years ago, like maybe our parents' generation, that was probably
yeah,
accurate. But to say that that's the same now, like,
I don't feel like it
it's
is now.
not
But I mean, yeah,
true.
again, I don't want to take away from if someone feels like that. But
I was like, yeah, girl, celebrate this divorce. Congratulations. She was married for 2 years, or however many years, has 2 kids and never
yeah.
orgasmed. So honestly, happy for her.
Yeah.
Get out. Oh, but Whitney and her husband showing up to the divorce party,
And his gold chain.
his slicked back hair.
I think Cameron watched that episode with me and he was like, what is that? I was like, I don't know.
I'm so sorry, but I did not find Whitney's husband good looking in
No.
any capacity.
No.
Mm.
And I think everyone's saying he was on Grinder, not Tinder. That's the theory going around, I think now. Everyone's like, you mean Grinder? Oh.
Ooh. Be like, oh, we add a little bit of spice to it. Oh, just everything about from his handlebar mustache to the slick back hair.
Oh my gosh, so bad.
It was so bad. Okay, I think Jessie talking to Whitney was actually pretty honest, and she was not as mean as Demi in her delivery.
Yeah, I think
thought
so.
Jessie was a little bit more mature in how
Yep.
she presented the information.
Yeah.
It's still not what Whitney wanted to hear, but I don't think it was nearly as malicious and catty in its delivery as Demi's.
I agree.
Okay, the Macy and Dakota drama, that was just
Macy and
rough to watch.
Dakota.
I think that was
Or
the
no.
baby mama photo shoot. Oh, it was definitely weird. I don't really like Dakota. I was pretty convinced that he did deeply, deeply care about Taylor. And I
Yes.
think she was self-sabotaging their relationship at every turn.
Yeah.
But I didn't like him in the end. I wasn't like,
Yeah.
go team Taylor and Dakota. I think they're both
Yeah.
a little bit too immature and
Mhm.
in not good enough headspaces to be like actually in a healthy relationship.
Yep.
All right, moving on to episode 6.
Okay.
We have the baby mama party. And we have Demi's, or is it Jessie's, brilliant idea of, oh my gosh, guys, what if we all unfollowed Whitney at the same time at
Oh
the
my
launch party?
gosh. And they're like, yes. I'm like, high school again.
Said it a million times. I don't know how many more times I can say it, but I thought it about a million. It just felt so stupid and catty to me. I was like, are you being serious right now? You guys have incredible lives. If this is your biggest issue, if this is your biggest drama in life, count your freaking blessings. Okay?
Yeah.
It's like that episode of the Kardashians, like, Kim, there are people starving or dying out here, whatever it is.
There's people that are dying.
That's how I felt. It's like you're all gonna just unfollow her at the same time. And it's gonna be this big empowering moment to prove a point that she's not supporting Macy. Like, I was like, you're all being dumb. You're all not talking about the real reason why you're doing this. And it's to be catty and mean because you're not nice.
And it's not the time or place.
Yeah. You're talking about how she's not supporting Macy. How are you supporting Macy in that moment by making this whole thing about unfollowing Whitney?
Exactly.
Oh.
Didn't Macy say something like that? I don't remember what she said, but I was like, yeah, for real.
And it says, this is so high school. And the ladies even talk about how, like, this is so high school. If you're, as a friend group, saying those words, I think we should all just pause for a second and be like, how am I contributing to this juvenile behavior?
Oh.
If it's feeling like high school, probably is.
Yep.
Probably is. Not one time in the last, 8 years have I thought to myself that some adult drama I was having felt high schoolish.
Yeah.
Because I'm not having drama.
Right.
I don't let anything fester long enough to become drama. Like, I just can't relate to their lives in any capacity.
Just seems so exhausting. Why would you be friends with people that cause so much nonsense?
Absolutely. I think it's a rough way to live, or at least it
It
looks like it
is.
from my angle.
Yep.
Okay, then we go on to Jesse's labiaplasty.
Oh my, that was, I don't know. I mean, good for her, whatever.
Oh, yeah. The labiaplasty thing, if she wanted to do it and for aesthetic reasons or whatever, like, I
Yeah.
genuinely don't think I have a place to judge in that. But as a sex educator, I do need it stated that
What?
there are lots of different types of labia and vulvas. And there's actually this artwork that I really like. It was this sculptor who took, what are they called? Like casts of different vulvas. Do you know what I'm
Oh.
talking about? Like, you know, if you like stick your hand in like plaster
Yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah.
it's, yeah. So they did that, but with different vulvas. And it was this artwork that was displayed in a museum. So it's not explicit in any way, like, you know, just plaster, and shows all of these different types of vulvas and what they can look like. That there are literally hundreds of different types, but I think that women, especially in a religious context, like when we're not talking about anything sex related, they just think that whatever's going on down there is wrong or ugly or bad. And they have self-esteem issues over that, like genuinely.
Yeah.
And a lot of times in porn, you know, women have labiaplasties. So their lips aren't shown. So sometimes even men don't realize that it's not
Oh,
supposed to look a certain way. Like there's all different types, there's different colors, there's different, like literally.
right. Yeah.
So it was just so fascinating to me that that conversation like wasn't had. Like she's talking about getting a labiaplasty, which like, okay, fine, if that's your decision, go for it, girl. But them, I don't know, I just felt like there were so many missed opportunities to like actually make a difference. They're talking about mom talk being this platform to empower women, to make a difference, to not be the norm, but you miss every opportunity to do so. And the pictures that they're drawing, she freaking draws on the board and was like, that's a vagina. I'm like, oh my gosh. No, it's not. That's a vulva, babe. That's a vulva. That's a vulva. Your lips are not meat hang things. They are labia.
I forgot that they drew
vulvas.
I forgot that they did that.
And then, sorry, just going a little bit further. And this is just me being so nitpicky, but she even puts on the door when they go to Vegas, she says labias only. That's actually so stupid. You should have put vulvas only.
I thought I was gonna say
Labia's the
that didn't
wrong
make
term.
sense.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, yes, we do have labia, but like, I think what you're trying to say is vulva, which is the entire
so funny.
is the correct terminology for a woman's genitalia. And the reason that women's genitalia is often referred to as just the vagina is because of society only labeling it as its one reproductive function. And I'm just like, oh, okay, you're saying you want to enact change? How about you start by saying things correctly?
Let's educate.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I literally,
That's
when she
okay.
drew that,
I didn't think about that.
when she drew that on the board and was like, it's the vagina, I was like, oh my god.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
I think was Layla there at that? It was like this
I
could
think
have been
so.
a great learning lesson for Layla about like where all the different parts are. Moving on. I had to bring that up because it really bothered me.
That's funny.
So then you go on to, I think, the biggest topic that I want to talk about, which is Vegas. You have the conversation starting off between Zach and Jen of him showing her his poker shirt.
Yep.
And the producers ask Jen, they literally like have this audio in.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Zach's gambling? And then she says, yes, as long as we're not making it seem like he's an addict.
I remember that. Just that alone, it was like, okay, so he's an addict. Got it.
Oh gosh. Okay, so what are your thoughts about the gambling and about the Chippendales situation?
Okay. So I actually asked Cameron, my husband, what he thought about it too, and we agreed. So we think that was just kind of out of line for Zach to be saying all these things about Jen when it's like, look what you're doing. Which I don't think either of them or even bad, I guess. Gamble, whatever. If you're an addict, yeah, that could be bad. But like, I don't think it was like, look where you are and what you're saying. It just doesn't add up. But anyway, I do think for Jen, she shouldn't have been talked to like that when she literally already felt bad. It's not like she went because she wanted to. And I don't think her friends made it any better. She's having such a rough time, and they're like, again, making it seem like you're just too Mormon. And it's like, it's not even about that. Sometimes things just make you uncomfortable. And if you don't want to go, you don't want to go. I don't know. I think the whole thing was kind of sad. I mean, I personally wouldn't go to one of those shows out of respect for my relationship. And I don't know. I thought it was all really blown out of proportion when it didn't need to be. I think Zach kind of started it though. Like if he would have just been quiet and just listened for a second. He's acting like it was her plans. Like she was like up on the stage getting a lap dance or something. I don't know.
Right.
But I don't know. As far as like my relationship with my spouse, I would not appreciate if he went to like a strip club. Even though it's a performance, the Chippendales, it's a strip club. It's a, it's still inappropriate. And I wouldn't appreciate my husband if he did that, even if it was for like a party for a friend or something. I would expect him to not go, and he would expect me to not go. And we both agree on that. And, it's whatever. But it's like, if he called and was like, I didn't know we were coming here, but I'm probably going to go back to like the hotel, I wouldn't be mad at him and say I'm going to divorce him. Like, oh my gosh, that was insane.
Here was my overarching thoughts about the whole situation.
Okay.
I thought out of the entire series, this was the most truthful depiction of the issue that is so commonly found within the church. Zach, whatever he does is seen as totally fine and okay because he's in charge.
Yeah.
And Jen is at risk of divorce because of like what it wasn't even her fault. Like there was just so many things about it that broke my heart. That Jen is clearly in a marriage that is not super healthy. And I don't think that Zach is a terrible person. I once again believe that Zach has been taught a very limited way of what it means to be a man and what it means to have power. And for him to feel powerful in his worlds, it means putting down his wife, and it means having power over his wife. And Jen, I feel like, is waking up to the fact that like that's not really working. Jen is in this position of being the breadwinner in the family. She is the one making money, and I feel like she was just doing her job. She had to get, I felt like in a way, like had to get on this bus to do her job, to pay their bills, to get him through medical school. But yet, of course, he is always seen as more important. His needs matter more than hers.
Yeah.
He views it that way, but now she's starting to not view it that way. And that's where this like dissonance is coming from. And this like back and forth between them, this like pure rift of him being like, well, I'm more important. My needs and my desires and how I view things are the end all be all. And she's like, I don't know if I fully agree with that. So I get that her friends are like backing her up, being like, no, that's not true. But they're doing it in such a way that's actually so unhelpful. Because her crying and being upset and him making her feel like she's this terrible person and using divorce as this manipulation tool of like, I'm going to divorce you and like we're over. That is such immature behavior.
That's like PTSD. Me and Cameron do not use that word. It's not a word you just throw around just because.
Oh yeah, it's not a threat that you should be using, like to get what you want or to make someone feel bad or to do something. Like that is such a bad way to go about it.
And my last thought on that whole situation too is the fact that they're in Vegas of all places. I wouldn't even do this here in like Utah County, but like you're in Vegas and you're gonna let your wife get in an Uber at 2 a.m. to come find you and talk to you. I don't like that. That's dangerous. I mean, maybe it's not dangerous, but like I don't know my way around Vegas. Like,
well, and the fact that he's calling from the casino to tell her that he doesn't even know who he married.
Yeah.
After you gambled away the $2,500 she gave you because she made that money. Whose money is that? The whole situation just felt very hypocritical, but it also felt so real. It felt so realistic that a lot of women are in these types of relationships. And you have these friends, because then, of course, they go to the bars, right? So they're going bar hopping. Let's skip to that part. And you have all the women there, and they're just bashing on Zach.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
I don't disagree with what they were saying, but I do fully disagree with them saying it at all.
Yeah. It was like, again, wrong. There's a time and a place.
And she even admits right then and there, like, I'm not ready to hear this. Once again, if you have somebody like a friend or something like that who is in an abusive relationship, I'm not saying that this one is like a fully abusive, that's not what I'm saying. But if we're going to go extreme and you have someone that's in an abusive relationship, going to them and telling them over and over again, ganging up as like 7 different people being like, your husband's abusive and you need to leave him and you deserve better and like he's this and he's that. If she is not ready to hear that, then that's actually going to do way more damage than just sitting back, letting her share what she's going to share, and saying like, I believe in you. I believe in you, because that's probably not what she's getting at home with somebody.
Right. Yeah.
She's not being told that she has good thoughts and, you know, that she's a good person and that she has the power to make decisions for herself. She's not hearing that. So you just putting down this person that she's still clearly defending is not going to help. It's just going to push her further away from you as a friend because she knows that she can't come to you.
Yeah.
Because she, once again, has to be in the defense of her spouse who she's trying to like express something about. But she's not ready to admit to you or to really herself of what the situation actually is. And I feel like that was where they went really wrong, is Jen sees. She sees it. Women are not stupid. And a lot of times women in abusive relationships or just in power dynamic type of relationships are not blind to the fact that they're in that. But they, to like protect themselves, and because they love that person and they care about that person, they're going to defend it, or they're going to make excuses, or they're going to do different things because they're not ready to admit it to themselves. Because if they admit it to themselves, then what?
Yeah.
Like, and you know, in a lot of cases, like, what, then they're gonna leave? What if they can't leave? What if they don't have all this stuff, right? Like that's a lot. So of course they're not gonna admit it to themselves. And you just like being a friend telling them that they have to, that's not gonna help the situation.
No. Yeah.
Although I do feel like they were really well intentioned. Like they're seeing that Zach is very controlling. I don't believe that he's a great guy. I think he really doesn't care about her needs. And
doesn't he say at the end, I don't care about mom talk. I don't care that you like to be a part of it. He literally said the words, I don't care about basically anything that you enjoy in your day.
I don't think it's this extreme, like Zach's a narcissist and he's this. I genuinely don't. No, I think Zach was raised a very certain way, a way that is all too familiar.
Yeah.
And Jen was raised a way that is all too familiar. And I think this power dynamic that is between them of not being equal partners, of him having more say, more power than her, is really the problem. But she's not, she sees it, she admits it in a lot of different ways, but she's not ready to do anything about it. So I think that they should just like lay off as her friends until she's ready to do something about it, and just show their support of like, hey, we're here for you. If you ever want to make a change, like you can talk to us about it. Like we can set something up. We can just even talking about, you know, like divorce isn't the end of the world. I think those kind of conversations are more helpful then like you should divorce him.
Yeah, they always come across as like attacking rather than like supporting. They like think they're being supportive, but it's like, whoa, you're talking to somebody who's just fresh out of an argument with their spouse, and that was just like strong.
And especially if she's still defending him, I think
Yeah.
one of the best things you can do is go where she is. Talk about maybe some good things that you see in her spouse, because he's not all bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like show her that you don't only view him as this manipulative person, that although I think he is,
Yeah.
I also don't think he's evil. I don't think that he doesn't care for her. I think, you know, so share those parts with her. Let her know that you aren't just, that she doesn't just have to defend him to you.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that the whole world is like bashing her relationship too. So,
oh, which I think is only going to make her go deeper into this, like, no, he's a great person. Like, I have to defend him. And then his insecurities of like people not, you know, thinking he's amazing, I'm sure plays into it. I'm sure it's awful.
because that's another thing going around TikTok is like the real villain of the season is Zach. Forget about Whitney. I'm like, oh,
if I were to name a villain, you know what? I would name Zach as the villain.
Yeah.
I would. Oh, but I felt so bad. It felt way too familiar. It felt very real. Like there are so many women that I know right now in my life that are in similar relationships. I see couples and I work with them that are in relationships like that, and they're working on getting out of relationships like that, like getting to a different place as a couple.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can't. And I don't think divorce is this horrible thing when if it will create a better life for both of you.
Especially if kids are involved.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think what Jessie said was very true, where she said, like, would you be okay with your daughter being treated this way? And Jen was like, no. She's like, well, your kids are going to grow up and they're going to see this situation for what it really is.
Yeah.
And I believe that.
You don't realize how like aware kids are. They're very impressionable.
Yeah, I was just heartbroken for Jen, to be honest. I just feel like she feels like she's very stuck. And I don't think telling her that she needs to get divorced and that Zach's a terrible person is going to solve the problem.
Right.
I personally don't think 5 years from now they're going to be married.
We'll see.
All right.
I'm kind of undecided about that. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, last episode.
Last episode, you have the Jenna drama with the anonymous question.
Oh, that was stupid too. I don't even know if that even was necessary, that whole anonymous like
it was just for the drama.
It was just so unnecessary, and
I don't think it was nice of Macy to do with her being that pregnant, like already knowing the issues that were going on in that relationship. I didn't think it was the time. And her whole argument of like, I don't want to do it when she's postpartum, like I honestly just think it was all speculation.
Yeah.
It's not a real issue. Why are you making it one? And I agreed with Dakota of him being like, dude, what was that? Why are you causing problems in my relationship?
I don't think it even needed to be brought up.
I agree. I don't think.
And then, isn't that how it ended too? Was she calls Jenna? Yeah. Oh gosh.
I'll tell you everything.
Oh, boring.
Jenna really wanted her 15 minutes.
Gosh, maybe she'll be the cast in season 2. Just kidding. I don't even know if I don't remember a Jenna being part of Mom Talk.
Oh, the last episode, you have Whitney going to the ice skating rink for Michaela's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Classic skating. I couldn't believe they made classic skating look that cool. Okay, but that was so awkward. Whitney showing up with the present, Michaela giving no, like she barely even looked at Whitney. She did not give her the time of day. And then her being like, I think I stepped on her present. Like, you're so mean. Why are you guys so mean? Well, and then everyone being like, why is she here?
Yeah, childish high school.
Yeah, and then Whitney being like, I'm gonna go because this is really awkward. I was like, yeah, it is. I understand why she didn't go to the baby mama thing, but I agree with Macy. You could have sent a text.
Yeah.
You could have reached out. I think you're being honest in your reasoning why, but you're also at the same time not really being the greatest friend. Like you're expecting everyone to have all this grace for you and your circumstances and all this stuff, but you're not being a good friend. You're not sending the text to explain these things ahead of time. You're only doing it on camera, so it feels disingenuous.
Well, and yeah, Whitney preaches the whole season of, if it were the other way around, I would have texted, I would have said this, but it's like, now that it's the other way around, you didn't. So that's strange.
Whitney, you should have texted. And then in the end,
she's pregnant.
Oh yeah, right. Not only is she pregnant, but they're gonna start their homestead.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
They're gonna become the ballerina farm.
Yeah.
Okay, the last thing that I had written for that episode was at the end, Jen and Zach being in New York and her clearly not wanting to move there, asking him, can we take a year off? Him completely ignoring her.
Yeah.
You're not listening to anything she has to say. You're not valuing anything coming out of her mouth right now.
Yeah.
All you see is your wants and your needs. That's all you're seeing right now.
Yep.
And then Jen, in the end, saying that Zach hasn't been his happiest version. So I want to help him to be better by moving to New York.
Oh, yeah.
That literally broke my heart.
I forgot she said that.
Yeah, that he hasn't been his happiest version, and I think that this move will help him. Because once again, putting herself in the position of like having to sacrifice everything for him.
Yeah.
When he doesn't even recognize that she's sacrificing anything, and doing it as a way to get him to change, to see things differently, to maybe start valuing her. Like, it's not gonna work. And it made me really sad.
That is sad. It just like makes me grateful for the life I live.
Honestly, here's the thing. On the days where I'm like, oh man, I wish I had somebody, I'd rather be single for the rest of my life and be celibate than have a marriage like that, genuinely. Yeah. And that may sound really harsh, but that type of marriage is going to be an absolute no thank you for me.
Like, do you know how long eternity is? Like, ooh, I feel good about my eternity.
Honestly, hey, listen, I'm all good over here. If I'm single for eternity, let that be what it is, because I would choose this. Yeah. I would choose it because I would never choose that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
so
goodness.
As a whole, what do you rate the season?
I'll do multiple categories, okay?
Okay.
From an entertainment perspective.
Okay.
I have a skewed view because I really don't like reality TV because there's just so many stupid things about it. So I'm going to give it a honest, indifferent 5 out of 10. Okay. But if we're going for accuracy, how accurately did I feel like it depicted my community? I'm going to go with, you know what? I'm going to go 6 out of 10. Okay. I'm going to go high because things were skewed, but we weren't completely far off.
Right. I agree. I did it as a whole 6.5 out of 10.
6.5 out of 10. I think my public rating would be like 7 or 7.5. I think lots of people would find this entertaining. Am I going to remember it? No.
Oh, yeah. Am I like thinking about it in my day-to-day? No.
Not at all.
Definitely not my Roman Empire.
I had to write down notes for every single episode because I knew I'd forget.
Yeah.
That's how forgettable. Like in the moment, I was like, I'm not going to remember this.
Oh, what was I going to say? Oh, I think it's rumored right now, current day, that Taylor and Dakota broke up.
Oh, I did see that.
But it's not confirmed, so I don't know what happened. We'll see if it's confirmed if they're not together.
Yeah, I think Dakota's just an idiot, but I don't think he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Zach's actually a jerk.
Yeah, agreed. And then I know I talk about these people like I know them, and it's so funny.
Yeah,
But
overall, it was fun. It was a good time. I'd watch it if there's a season two. I don't think the girls are bad or good or anything. I think they're catty and a little bit mean, but you know, I've seen worse in my community.
yeah. I
But at
don't
the
know.
end of the day, if they want to sit next to me in my pew, by all means.
Yep. I don't care what anyone does with their lies
Yeah,
as long as
you
it
can
doesn't
come in with
affect me.
yeah, no, literally. You can come into church with that flask, Jesse, by all means.
Yeah, for real, I don't care.
I don't think I'm gonna be looking to them to
No.
represent me or my religion in the near future.
No.
I'm not gonna be telling people like, oh, you want to learn about what I believe? Go watch the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. It's gonna tell you everything.
Oh my gosh.
But on to the next.
On to the next. Oh man, I'm writing down all my stuff for
For our
my
next.
next episode with you. The Obsession Chronicles.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be long. You know how many things I've watched and read already since the end of July?
In the last 3 days, I've been sick. I've watched, I think, no less than 8 movies in the last 3 days. And I watched a TV series.
Okay.
Is your daughter gonna give us the outro? There it is. This is
You heard it there.
Our Thoughts on Life.
Thank you for listening to Our Thoughts on Life because this has been Life According to Nikki.